What's up, everybody? My name is Phil, and this is an introduction to my channel. So this is my 2005 Chevy Silverado 3500 crew cab long bed 6.6 Duramax. It is an LLY Duramax, but it's not just an average LLY Duramax. So, kind of try to give you a walk around of what it is and what it's got done to it, where it started, where it's at, where it's going. So I bought this truck in July of 2020. It was early on when COVID started, and it was just a stock truck. I believe it had an EGR delete done already. But aside from that, it was just a stock truck. And I'll toss some pictures in there, but what I've done to it so far, it's on a 6-inch zone lift with Fox 2.0 shocks. It has kryptonite upper control arms, powder coated white. It has a full kryptonite steering package. It has redhead gearbox, PSC power steering pump, 2011 Hydro Boost. For the motor, this is not the original motor that was in the truck. The original motor that was in the truck, I spun the main bearings in it, and I went to Virginia from New Jersey to buy a used engine, and turned out that that used engine had some water in the oil pan, so I got a good deal on it. I bought it. I took a chance on putting it in the truck, and I'll get more into that down the line. But the motor, so it's fully equipped with pretty much all HSP. So it has HSP cold air intake, HSP Y bridge, HSP hot and cold pipes, HSP thermostat reroute, HSP up pipes, HSP manifolds, HSP coolant tank. It has a brand new alternator that I pulled apart and powder coated. It has front engine covers powder coated by me. Oh, it has HSP valve covers as well, and I'll try to get in to see them. So, HSP valve covers. I powder coated all my fuel rails and fuel lines. I powder coated my alternator, my front cover, my oil fill tube, my PSC power steering pump. What else? Truck has 150 over S&S diesel injectors, a 12mm S&S diesel CP3 injection pump. It has a AirDog 150 lift pump. It has a 68mm Ryan's diesel service turbo, which that setup's getting ready to change. But so far that's what's on it now. It is a stock bottom end truck. It has a new upper wiring harness from Lincoln Diesel Service. What else? So, front bumper. It's a Move Classic Series with bull bar and winch kit with Aurora off-brand lighting light pods. Has Royal hooks, a Harbor Freight winch, eBay headlights that I converted over to LED bulbs. They are projector style headlights, but I just converted the bulbs. Sitting on 22 12.5 -44 offset hostile Predators with 35-inch cheap Crosswind MT tires. Has True Spike lug nuts. They're bullet edition lug nuts, and it has shell casing valve caps. I did paint the calipers. They're just new calipers, stock calipers. We powder coated the front cross member, and I painted my CV axles and all that stuff. Kryptonite tie rods. kryptonite bump stops, kryptonite cam bolts. So that's the suspension setup, the engine setup. It has Boost Auto Parts mirrors, paintable caps that I painted. It has full tint all the way around, 5%, windshield 30%. The bed is not the original bed. So when I bought the truck had white fender flares on it. I took the fender flares off. The bed had rust in this area here on both sides. I found a bed online and purchased that because I didn't want to try to do body work. So the bed has been replaced. The tailgate is the original tailgate, but I do have a brand new tailgate in the garage to swap it because I don't know if you can see it, but the tailgate is bent. So eBay tail lights, eBay third brake light, and the third brake light doesn't work. Bushwhacker bed rails, I have the Bushwhacker cover for the new tailgate for up here. Roll pan in the rear. It has a bank stiff cover, a 4 to 6 inch Grill Tech exhaust tip. It has a diamond eye over axle pipe to an MBRP full straight pipe exhaust to an MBRP downpipe. And frame's pretty clean. I mean, it's got surface rust because it sits outside, but it's pretty clean. It's on a, you know, suspension drop, so it's got blocks in the rear, which I'm going to change the springs on that. It has Banff wheel ring lights and McTuning rock lights. I think there's 16 rock lights on the truck. Shines pretty bright at night. HSP traction bars, amp steps. It has a built trains. I'm working on getting a one-piece drive shaft. Currently I have the drive shaft, it's just painted white, but it's a two-piece and I'm looking to get a one-piece. So that's that. The interior is pretty clean. It's leather interior. It was a work truck, but it's pretty clean for being a work truck, and it is a leather interior. No rust on the bottom of the doors. No rust on this rocker. The other rocker, I replaced it. In fact, I just did that. So, eBay grill that I painted. This rocker, like I said, I just did this rocker replacement. Didn't come out too bad. Cab corners were fine, and the rockers were pretty much fine up until there was a spot right around this area that I just replaced. So now this rocker, it's just painted temporary because the truck is going to get a full paint job on it. But truck itself has over 350,000 miles on it. I replaced the headliner in it when I first got it, and I did the sun visors just to make sure everything matched. Full leather interior. It doesn't have rips in the seat, but the seat has wear, and somebody patched a hole here before I bought it. But aside from that, interior is pretty much mint. Passenger seat's fine. Back seats are fine. I swapped all the bulbs inside for LEDs. It's a work in progress. I debadged the truck. When I debadged it, somebody had painted this fender and painted right over the door, right over the badging here, so I have to get that taken care of. The other side looks good. What else can I tell you about this truck? Optima batteries. Yeah, so probably some things that I'm forgetting because there's a lot of little pieces, like it's got a fluid damper on it, ARP head studs, head gaskets, some PPE parts. Oh, it's got PPE deep trains and oil pans on it. I've pulled this motor out the truck more than once. Pulled it out when I first built it, pulled it out when I blew injectors out of it, and then pulled it out again when I spun the main bearings. But aside from that, the hood insulation is new. It has PPE firewall insulation, and it is EFI live tuned. I'm not going to say who tuned it, doesn't really matter. But that's my truck. So upcoming. So I have upcoming twin turbo kit for this truck. It will be an S480 over a 68. Like I said, it has the fuel, it has the injection pump, it has air, but it's going to have more air. I'm getting ready to do the Merchant Auto pump rub kit in the transfer case, and the truck is going to get fully painted. I'm going to do the drive shaft conversion, and then I don't know, we'll see. I haven't had this truck on a dyno, so I don't know what it makes right now. I'm hoping to get it on a dyno either right before I do the twin turbo kit or right after. But it is a stock bottom end truck, and it is going to get a bottom end build. So I'm already in touch with Miller Engines, who I would like to have build it for me. We've been going back and forth about building this truck, because if I'm going to have 1,000 horsepower and fuel and air, I'm going to need it in the bottom end. So I want to make sure that that's solid. Now, saying all that, it is on a 6-inch lift. So with that, obviously I'm going to lose some kind of power. It is also a crew cab long bed truck. I scale weighed it at the truck stop. It weighs 7,800 pounds. So it's not light. But the motor's got power and torque. And with the fresh bottom end build that will be going in it with the twin turbo kit, I mean, I could see it realistically probably putting 800 to the ground, if not more. It's not a slouch now, but I don't kill it because I know it's a stock bottom end truck, and I know I've already spun main bearings in the original motor in this truck. So the motor in this truck has, I think, 200,000 miles on it. And I just swapped all my parts over to that stock bottom end, and I tossed it in the truck because I wanted to be able to drive my truck until I had enough money to build the bottom end. So under this tarp, there is the old block from this truck and the actual old motor from my work truck, which is just a 03 Silverado 2500 with a 6.0 Vortec in it. So that's my work truck over there, and that'll stay a work truck, but I may build this LS motor as well, because when I pulled that out, it had broke a piston, but the cylinder walls were smooth. So I can either buy a stock replacement piston for it, or I can buy some performance parts. So I'm thinking about actually buying something like a little Ford Ranger or something small and light, and putting an LS build in that, having my Duramax build, and I may possibly buy another Duramax and put the old air kit on that truck. And I'm thinking I want to buy a smaller single cab Duramax and put this motor that's going to get built into that, and then put some stuff back on this truck and leave this truck how it is, and build a smaller, lighter race truck with all the parts that are in this one, and then just kind of convert this as a stock motor. I got tons of parts that are stock parts, and some performance stuff I still have, and so I can do either of the two. And with the LS motor, I can build something cheap and stupid with that and just run that down the track. But anyway, basically the kind of stuff that I do, I like getting my hands dirty working on stuff. You know, being a contractor, I know how to build, and auto mechanics runs in my family, so I know how to do that stuff as well. So that's the rundown. I didn't want to get too, you know, chatty in an introduction, but this is my Instagram, at Driveway Built Duramax. Self-explanatory. This truck was built in my driveway right here where all the oil spots are. But yeah, so that's who I am. Stick around for some stuff that I got coming up that I'm getting ready to post, a couple different install videos, and then yeah, when this twin turbo kit comes in, we're going to do full powder coat on that. So like I said, I'm able to powder coat stuff here. I have you know, the sandblast cabinet, I have an oven, I have the powder coat stuff, so I can powder coat my own stuff. I need to build myself a bigger oven, but I kind of want to build myself a bigger garage because that's my garage and it sucks because I can't fit nothing in it. I could drag engines and stuff in there and build them, and I can do stupid stuff, but can't fit a vehicle in there. So, and I have a wide array of tools and stuff in here. I do want to buy a lift, so that's where I'm at right now. But I've been wanting to do, you know, something. I wanted to do something. I want to document something. I want to show off some stuff. Obviously, that's why I want to be able to show off what I can do. I want to be able to show off what I got because, you know, my past is rocky and where I'm at today is totally different place than where I was 10 years ago. So I want to be able to show off some of the good stuff that I've done in my life and whatnot. So it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here. So it's pretty much all I got for today. See what comes next.